Hi and welcome again. Today we will look at the room called Introduction to Django. Before on the path on TryHackMe, we worked on the learning path called Web Fundamentals. So far we only covered the first 3 steps, and today I'm gonna cover the Django last step. So I'm gonna click at the room. Earlier today I decided to record a video where I would be taking you through all the different task steps. However, I'm not a fan of frameworks. I'm not really into all these command lines, setting up my app and doing a lot of magic behind the scenes. To me, it doesn't really lift my stone off the ground. So after doing the first 2, spending 30 minutes explaining stuff and telling stuff, I kind of decided that I'm not gonna do this afterwards. So this is why that you will see me having the first 2 tasks completed. What really happened during the walkthrough is that I got stuck, really stuck on this part. It kept giving me the same error and error again, and it reminded me why I don't really like frameworks at all. I'm not saying this should be skipped by you. If you really love frameworks and really like to write code, you are a developer. I am not a developer. I'm interested in the security part only. So what I'm really gonna do is say, yeah, I'm not really gonna spend my time on showing you how to set up some framework. That is something you should be able to do yourself. So what I'm really gonna do is just go down here and say completed, because I'm not really gonna waste my time setting up a framework. And I will say that I even read all the different write-ups here. You can say on the write-ups, went through all of them. I tried different things in YouTube, and I didn't really find any help to solve the issue on my Linux machine. It's a Linux Kali. So I might be doing something totally wrong, but it's okay. I don't really like frameworks. I'm not really gonna show code or do anything with it. So if you really like it, please look at Django. However, I'm not gonna do it anymore. Unit number 4, it says, in case it was hard for you to follow the guide, you have some errors. Here's an exact example of the Django website I talked about. So this is another example. Sometimes TryHackMe, they put in the next step. I suggest putting it before you give the exercise. This is my advice to you, from me to TryHackMe. However, I think TryHackMe is a really good web page, a really good learning platform, and I'm not a sponsor, I would like to say that. And it's like, if you still have questions, feel free, blah, blah, blah. So now the questions need to be answered below. Flag from the GitHub page. So this is the only GitHub page there is. I'm gonna open it and scroll down a bit, and there we have a flag. So I'm gonna copy the flag, put it into the answer format, and click submit. Now, to you guys that doesn't know what a flag is what you use in a hacking context as a proof of concept that you actually got access to a certain part of the system that you need to prove you gained access to. Alright? So then you put something like a flag, and the flag can be basically anything, some random gibberish that you can just accidentally guess. Unit 5 saying capture the flag. Now it's time for small capture the flag. It might take 3 minutes for the machine to boot up, so I'm gonna press the button start machine. Fix the error and retrieve the flag. Use knowledge from previous units. Alright, so they want me to fix some errors on the framework that I didn't really like, and I would say that I'm not really sure that I'm gonna be successful fixing the errors, because I'm not a fan of frameworks. I really like taking things, doing things from the scratch and knowing what I do. But sometimes frameworks or a CMS system could be the way forth for you. However, today I'm going to do my very best to try and get the admin panel flag. Alright, so I'm getting the username of Django admin and the root tor1212. And let's see, the machine is being booted up, and it's only 10 seconds. I'm gonna pause the video for just a second. Alright, so we got our IP address. I'm gonna copy it and go back to my Linux Kali. I'm gonna clear this screen. I'm gonna go to the address that I got, and let's just see. It is not there yet. Let me just see again. No. My OpenVPN is running. I'm just gonna quit this window. And let's see if we can ping. Alright, so it's pingable, and if it's probably because it's running on port 8000. And let's see if that is going to, okay, so I'm having this disallowed host and yada yada yada. It says invalid host, header called, you need to add to allowed hosts. Okay, so let's look at how we do this. Okay, so it seems like we're gonna do a little fancy hacking thing here, because it's basically telling me that the IP address called 10.10.241.97 is invalid, and we kind of need to add that. So this is something that should be done on the server itself and not on my machine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to my, if I could type 3 times in a row, that's the way to do it. I'm gonna call nmap. I'm gonna run, whoops, whatever happened there, no idea. I'm gonna run my nmap command on this IP. Just gonna do the basic nmap and just see what it gets. So whenever you just write nmap and the IP address, you're gonna scan the machine for most normal ports. What I'm getting right now is actually, I think this is what I need. I'm not 100% sure because I haven't done this before in this room, but it does tell me that I have my port 8000 open, which is my Django server, which is true. And then I have a port 22 open SSH. So what I'm really thinking I'm gonna do here is like typing SSH, and it gave me the Django-admin, I think it was, and the machine IP is 10.10.241.97. Let's see what happens. And whoa. Are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. Yes. Yes. All right. Who am I? Oh, the password. They gave me the password on the machine. It's called root tor 1212. I cannot write root tor 1212. And let's see what happens now. I should be given access, and there we go. I am, who am I? I am a Django admin, so I am not the root user, which is okay, I guess. So what I'm gonna do now is I need to verify where the things are located. Message box. And alrighty then, so inside the message box I'm gonna find the settings. Let's go into the sets. If I can type it would be better. Settings, and let's see, this we tried before, and it's kind of telling me to allowed host, and what it told me to do is to add my 10.10.241.97 to that. And then I'm gonna save it, and if I'm lucky right now I can actually see, could not enter the web page. Did I do something wrong? I probably did. Was this the correct IP address I put in? It was. Let me just see again. Oh yeah, it just took some time. Yeah, you know, I'm not used to Django, and I never really used it before, so it just took some time. Basically, I just put in the IP address of the machine, which I can see on the right side of the screen, which is 10.10.241.97. So now I have this hi and welcome, and nothing here. I could right click and view page source, and it looks pretty boring. But I'm gonna click the linked messages, and let me see. Yeah, it looks fine, I guess. A lot of text, it doesn't really do anything. We'll decode this message. Sure, let's do it. Okay. So I'm gonna right click again, say view page source, just to make sure that I'm not missing anything from the source of the web page. So all of this just looks like a bunch of text, not really saying anything special. However, I think we should try and access the admin panel. I think there's an admin panel, which is, yes. I'm gonna type in the Django, what's this, admin root Thor 1212, and log in on the backend. I could not spell it correctly. Let's try again. Root Thor 1212. Okay, I still cannot enter the correct. Let me just see. Alright, so maybe it's better to just do the admin user and do root Thor 1212. No. Very interesting. So what does it tell me? Alright, so thinking back a bit, when I did the room on TryHackMe, the first two steps in the start, not that part, and the getting started part, it actually told me to not there. Create super user. So there's a command called create super user, which can be executed by Python 3 managed by create super user. So if I'm not mistaken, let's try and create our super user, because we have access to this machine. So let's just do Python 3 manage create super user, and yeah, I'm gonna do admin at admin.com 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 1 2 3 4 5 6 is password. I want to say yes. All right, gonna go back to the web page again and do admin, and let's see what happens now. Oh wow, so now we have access to the administration panel, and let's see, looks very interesting. Dull and boring, I would like to say. So, oh, there we have a flag right there, so I'm gonna take the flag. I don't know which it is, however, I'm gonna go back to this part here and admin panel flag. Let's see. Yes. Now I have something called a user flag. So user flag can be many different things. We don't really know what it is. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go back a bit, because it's also something that I would like to investigate. It told me that the password hash there. So I'm gonna go in, and there's a password hash, and let's see. Okay, it looks interesting. So I'm gonna go to crack station now, which is a really good web page for cracking hashes. So I'm just gonna paste it in. I'm not a robot. And crack it. And I'm getting the password of wild nature. It's a SHA-256 type, so I'm gonna copy that. Go back to my Django website. And where was it? And it tells me that I have a user called Strange Fox. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna log out, log in again, go to Strange Fox and Wild Nature, I think it was. Gonna log into that user. It seems it's not working. Wild Nature, if I could type it correctly. Let's see. No. Alright, so let me go back to admin again. Yeah, and take users. And we do have these kind of passwords. So maybe that is not a username for the web page. Maybe it is a username for the Linux system. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and change my user to Strange Fox, I think it was. Did I write that wrong? I think I did. Let's do this. Alrighty then. So Wild Nature. Oh, okay. So basically, you don't really know what you're gonna get in a box of chocolates until you opened it, right? So not to quote Forrest Gump or anything. However, whenever you're working with systems and websites, users and passwords, what's it gonna be for? Is it for the web page? Is it for the system? So of course this is for the system. So what I'm gonna do now is just there's a user text file. I'm gonna cat out the content, and there we have another flag. I'm gonna copy it if I can copy. It's an art itself to copy paste. I'm gonna put it into the we have it, the user flag, and there we go. So we have one more flag to find. This is called the hidden flag, and it's the same format, and we can get a hint. So the hint is, did you see any identical files? So that's a really good question. Did we do that? So let's go back to the there and say okay. Identical files. Let's just have a look. I'm not really sure what to look for. I guess this could be a long way to do this kind of things. So what I'm really thinking I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try and search for, well, this is something kind of need to know, and I'm kind of not really that good at capture the flags myself. I'm not really into these looking for hidden things. However, there's a possibility for you to do a grab command with the R and then go for TryHackMe and see if you can find anything that kind of resembles a flag. It's a sneaky way of doing it. I'm pretty sure that this is the flag that we want to capture. So let's just take it and let's pull in our, we can find it there, our little thing, and you paste it in and say submit, and yeah, okay. So apart from we just finished the room and we just finished our first learning path goal, so learning path, and say web fundamentals, and then we go to the very first part called web fundamentals. We now finished that together. So going back to the Linux machine, remember, security is not about functionality. If you want to work with security, don't think about Python and how to set a Python server up and and why does the framework not work and anything. Frameworks doesn't occasionally just not work. It's very normal for frameworks to just not work, especially if you're new to a framework. It's just spitting out tons of errors, and it's just like, I'm gonna pull out my hair. I've been there, I've done that, and I really don't like frameworks that much. I think Django is probably really good. I have nothing against Python as a language. However, frameworks itself, they just have so many dependencies, so many things you need to be aware of, a ton of different commands in the command line, and it kind of never works. But eventually it will work, but you need to go over the mountain 3 times before you know how to just use a framework to set up a normal app on all computers. There are some things you need to learn, you need to know, and I'm not really gonna do that with Django. I did it before with different kind of frameworks, with .NET for C#. I did it with Laravel for PHP and a few others, and after that I had enough of frameworks for now. Security wise, it is a really good idea to know just the basics. So what I kind of also got from this tutorial is the basics of how to actually grant access to my IP address to the web app. And the only way that was possible was for me to get access to the machine itself through the very insecure SSH tunnel that was protected with kind of no password. So we also got the password. So if we didn't get the password, we would have to brute force a way through, and we would never be able to get the flag. So please be aware that this is just a sample scenario, and this is just one of the ways it is. Until then, I'm gonna see you again next time. Please subscribe to my channel, like the video, write a comment. I will respond back to you. Bye.